Bhai, what's your controversial call?
Walaikum assalam warahmatullah. My controversial call is that it is usually good to plan, but life does not usually follow those plans.
I know it's something you might have taken out of your own life and your own learning. What's an example that has happened personally with you that would connect to this?
Well, pretty much all of my life, uh, almost all the things that I found were notable in my life were completely unplanned. And so, for example, I was in school in Pakistan, and I ended up going to Canada to study. Completely unplanned, came out of the blue. Then, similarly, um, starting the Active Saturdays program, completely out of the blue. So I had some other plans, and I had no plans of coming back to Pakistan when I was in Canada. And I just came for a short trip, and then I just ended up staying. So again, these are the kind of things where I had some plans, but life just didn't follow those plans. I'm not saying planning is not good. We should plan, but we should be ready to change those plans whenever we need to. That's essentially what the gist of what I'm trying to say.
Oh, and it's one of those things. It's like a very common thing, right? You plan for the worst and expect the best. So
Sure, yeah, yeah. But even if you plan for the worst or you plan for the best, um, life seldom, at least in my case, life seldom follows those plans. But you still need to keep planning. But you need to have some kind of a roadmap. But you just need to be ready to change routes whenever possible, whenever needed.
say, and but a lot of people, I think one of these things that we've done is even with Majid Bhai, we started implementing this. Because I do ask a call. I do ask for an opinion, but I also ask for a solution or for a way around that you might have done or you think works. Is that a lot of people get stuck in that when plan changes and things change, and it gets difficult to adapt. And especially in today's world with COVID having gone and then this whole new AI and stuff and everything happens and plans do change and a lot of people find themselves going downhill mentally or physically from there because things just don't go planned. So what's maybe one advice that you would give us how not to how to keep ourselves up?
Well, I mean, it's important that you try to understand, if we try to understand what is life, right? Life is pretty much just a test. And there is something called taqdeer that we believe in as Muslims, that everything, that there is fate, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has broadly written down everything in our lives. And there is a little bit of room to maneuver, but by and large, the basic things have been written out. And our job is to just react and to adapt to those things that happen to us. So at the end of the day, we realize that it is just a test. One way or the other, you have to just try and pass the test. Eventually, the real reward or the real payment is going to be in the afterlife. In this world, it's just a test. It's just short. It's just like a drop of water on your finger when you dip it into the ocean. And the real life, eternal life, is the ocean. So if we keep this in mind, that it's just a test, then you take it a little more in a chill mode. You don't freak out as much. So that helps me at least. That I tend to see, and also I try to always keep in mind that well, what's the worst that can happen? If you keep the worst case scenario in your head, and you figure out that well, most of the time it doesn't work out to be the worst case scenario, so then it shouldn't freak you out too much. Hopefully, I don't know. Is that useful?
Oh, it's definitely useful, and it's also reminds me one of the things I've actually got this on my laptop desktop, and I've been trying to focus on this particular thing for the past maybe 2 years almost. And it's one thing that Imam Shafi even said, "Ke I'm at ease knowing that whatever." is planned for me will never escape me, and whatever isn't planned for me, I do not need to worry about. And it's one of those things, as you said, as Muslims, we know okay, whatever's planned for us, we'll get. There's uh, no need to worry about it because it's all in our.
And especially about money. Especially people freak out too much about money. And the concept of risk is something that it's not just money. We are more, as Muslims, more concerned with barakah than we are with quantums of money. How much barakah is in that money? How much barakah is in that time? How much barakah is in that relationship? These are the things that I think should be concerning us more. And we should be working towards that barakah.
I think that's a good take, and then it's also a good feedback to have. Again, Jazakallah. I think that's it from my end. If you've got anything to add, I think that's a good small call to have. Jazakallah khair, Saeed Bhai.
I hope it was useful. I hope somebody benefits from it, inshallah ta'ala. Jazakallah khair for this opportunity. See you later, inshallah.
Allah Hafiz.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum.